Hey, welcome to Nerd Chapel. My name is Eric Anderson. I'm one of the co-authors of 42 Discovering Faith Through Fandom, and we're going to read another entry today. It deals with Star Wars and with temptation, so let's hit it. Day 33, Beware the Dark Side, by Eric Anderson. Why are you still sleeping? Get up and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. Luke 22:45. Anakin Skywalker was shocked at what he was hearing. Palpatine knew about his dreams. He knew about the dark side of the Force. He even claimed he could help him save Padme. He offered him an opportunity. Join me, and I will teach you things about the Force the Jedi would never share with you. He notified Mace Windu about this, who then took 3 other Jedi with him to interrogate and arrest Palpatine. But the Chancellor could save Padme, or so he said. So Anakin left the Jedi Temple, went to Palpatine, and joined the dark side of the Force, helping Palpatine kill Mace in the process. Eve faced a similar choice. She was standing near a tree from which she was told not to eat. The one tree in the entire garden that she should not eat from. Why don't you eat from this tree? The serpent asked her. God told us we would die if we did that. No, if you eat from this tree, you will be like him, knowing good from evil. In other words, God doesn't want you to know something, but I'll share it with you. She took a bite. Adam, her husband, and the other half of the first couple also took a bite. And then life changed for all of humanity. We all face temptation. It comes from our selfish desires and evolves as we feed them. But temptation doesn't come from God. When tempted, no one should say, God is tempting me. For God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. But each person is tempted when, by his own evil desire, he is dragged away and enticed. James 1, verses 13 and 14. Satan himself tried to tempt Jesus, who had been fasting for 40 days when the devil approached him. He was physically weak. First, Satan tempted him with the need for strength. Jesus used scripture to block it. Then Satan said, jump off this building. God's angels will protect you. Jesus again used scripture to say no. Finally, Satan offered the whole world, every kingdom, for the price of worshiping him. Jesus said, get away from me, and again used scripture to block it. The enemy tried to tempt Jesus with pride, with challenging God's promises, and with influence in the world. The enemy looks for your biggest weaknesses. And yes, he did even misuse scripture in his temptation to Jesus. The enemy knows the Bible. Do you? The best defense against temptation is prayer and scripture. While in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus urged the disciples to pray so that you will not fall to temptation. Mark 14:38. I have had times when I had to pray to avoid temptation. The other source to help us is the Bible. All scripture is God-breathed and is useful for teaching, rebuking, correcting, and training in righteousness, so that the Son of God may be thoroughly equipped for every good work. 2 Timothy 3, verses 16 and 17. After about 30 years after Anakin became Darth Vader, he brought his son before Palpatine. The Emperor urged Luke to use his anger about the trap his friends were in to kill Darth Vader and join the dark side. Never. I am a Jedi, like my father before me. You have failed, Your Highness. Jesus went to the cross to defeat sin for you. He died so you could be free from sin and be part of his kingdom. Satan will give you a lot of sin, but he will never die for you. But because of Christ's death, you can resist temptation like Luke did. All right, quest. Number 1, read Genesis 3 and Matthew 4, verses 1 through 11. Again, that's Genesis 3 and Matthew 4, verses 1 through 11. Second, compare what Adam and Eve experienced after the fall with what Jesus experienced after the devil left him. Which one is better? Finally, read Hebrews 12, verses 1 through 6. I hope you're having a good week. Make sure to check out Nerd Chapel on Instagram and Facebook, to check out our website, nerdchapel.com. If you like what you're seeing, and especially if you want to support my work at Comic Cons and gaming conventions throughout Michigan and beyond, make sure to look up my Patreon. So have a wonderful week.